What's going on, everybody? This is Retro JoJo, and I'm back for another video. And today I have my friend Tevin with me, and we're gonna do this kind of the similar thing we've been doing we did before. With George. This time we're gonna do some different. We'll do a couple different questions, and we'll do some of the same questions, and we'll see what Tevin has to say about some of the things that we talked about before, and then we'll go from there. So I guess I'll start with the question. I'll let you go first, and then I'll elaborate on what I think about each question. First one, what's your favorite musician or band?
I gotta say, my favorite musician is probably gotta be Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne?
And one of my favorite bands, probably Metallica, because, man, they made some awesome music. I still get goosebumps when I hear Sandman.
Yeah. I'm a big Metallica fan myself. I like, I would have to say my favorite right now would be Disturbed. I recently got this, you can't really see it on the camera, maybe a little bit, but I got this new tattoo. It's the face of the guy from Disturbed, and I've got the comics. I've got like I said in the last video, I went Disturbed crazy a little bit lately. But I like what David, what he stands for. Like I said, everybody that's seen that knows how I feel about that, and about him and about the band. And I just like his energy and what he stands for, and how he acts on stage, how he treats his fans. And I like their music. I've been listening to their music since I was probably middle school, early high school, something like that. Maybe 8th, 9th grade. And a friend of mine got me into them. And I've liked them ever since. And I would have to say maybe another band I could mention would be Tool. I'm a big Tool fan, and their manager he's got 3 bands, a jiu-jitsu class or school or whatever you want to call it, and he's got his own winery, so he's always doing something, and I applaud him for that, because he's doing everything he can. So that's what I would think I have to say about that. I mean, favorite movie or genre of movies, what do you think that would be?
Well, my favorite movie got to be Deadpool, the first one.
Yeah.
When I first seen that in movie theaters, man, I ain't not know Marvel could be that funny.
Right. Yeah. I went to see it and with a friend of mine, Charlie Miller. It's actually Dr. Miller, who's a doctor here in town that we live in, and me and Tevin both live here, and it was funny because it's a quick story about it. We were about to leave, and one of my mom's friends, who used to be my teacher, she showed up, and when she showed up, she said, "Oh, hey, Charlie and Joseph," and she was talking to us and talking to Mom, and then she said, "Yeah, Joseph and Charlie are about to leave. They gonna be late for a movie. They're going on a little friend outing, and eat together and hang out." And she said, "Oh, well, that's nice." And then she said, "What are y'all going to see him?" And I was like, "Don't, Mama, don't tell her, because she's not going to agree with us going to see that." And I said, "Liverpool?" And she said, "Deadpool, really?" And I was like, "Yes, really, because I actually like the comics, and I like Deadpool. He's the Mert with the mouth, and I watched that movie, and you can call it what you want. I mean, they say, oh, based on what I believe, you shouldn't laugh at some of that. But it was so funny. Me and him had such a blast. And that's the thing. You go and see something like that, there's a rating system for a reason. I've said that about video games. I've said that about everything. As an adult, you have a choice and a responsibility. And if you like it and you know what it is, then it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. If you can laugh and you laughed and had a good time, that's all that matters. I mean, that's my opinion of it. And I like the second one but the first one's the best one, I would think.
Right.
I think the first one's better than the second one.
It is.
I think it's
man.
good. It was funny.
I can't wait for Deadpool and Wolverine to come out in July.
I just seen earlier a mini like snippet trailer. The Deadpool had 2 golden pistols, and then here come Wolverine. I was like, man, that's gonna be a good movie.
Oh, it is.
I'd say my favorite movie is still Star Wars. I said in the last video, Empire or Return of the Jedi, and I don't want to repeat, the same thing. So I don't know, maybe another one, maybe the original or the first Rob Zombie Halloween. This kind of, or the new first one of their new Halloween. I like Michael Myers. I even like actually George was very surprised that I didn't put, when we were talking about horror movies, he was surprised that I didn't put like any of the Rob Zombie, the Firefly trilogy or anything like that above Halloween. But I've kind of gotten where I like the Halloween franchise a little more than the Rob Zombie. I do love Rob Zombie still, but I'm a big Michael Myers fan. What would be your favorite horror, since we're talking about that, I guess? Favorite horror movie?
It gotta be Evil Dead.
Ooh, that's a good one. Is the new one or the all original?
Well, mainly the new one.
The new one? Yeah, it was, you talking about the one with where the girl was being...
Yeah, the 2013 one.
Okay, yeah, where they burned her or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she turned while they were, yeah. That's a good movie.
Cause I like the old ones too, but the newer one, it's got a more serious tone to it.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, while we're talking about that, Candyman. George was talking to me about that. Have you seen the new? He said it was okay, but the original was just way.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen the new one.
It's stupid. It was stupid. The new one. I would not recommend it.
Well, this is a good one. What would be your dream job?
Oh man. But actually become like a music producer.
Yeah. Music producer.
Yeah. For any genre.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I would want to be like entrepreneur, or like I said in the last one, maybe graphic design, or like even cybersecurity. That would be cool.
Oh yeah.
They make good money, and you're actually doing something. I like the idea of cybersecurity, but I wouldn't know how to get into that, so I had to look into that. Maybe that's something I could do.
Oh yeah, they probably got a school for it or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm old or too. I might be too old for that.
Nah, you ain't never too old.
I don't know. I feel like maybe I would be I don't know. I feel like with my job I got now, I don't know if I could go back. It's a little time consuming what I do now. So.
Oh yeah.
I might could though. Maybe you can't give up.
Nope.
What's your favorite food? We all know what mine is.
It gotta be chicken wings.
Chicken wings. I'd say probably sushi.
Sushi. I don't eat fish, so
none at all.
None at all. So
I didn't know that. So you just not even fried or nothing.
No, I don't eat no type of fish.
Man, I eat it raw, right on top of a bed of rice.
Nah, I can't do that.
I do worry about like if you get a tapeworm. Or I've seen those videos on YouTube where they it shows like the inside of what happens on the side of the body.
Right.
Gosh, I don't even want to think about it. Or if you ever see Mr. Meaty, where they had tapeworm, that dude swallowed the tapeworm, bought it or whatever from him. Oh, this Parker ate that raw burger. Oh, that was such a weird show, but it was I liked it. It was funny.
Right.
And that goth girl fried her finger, and and ate it. Ugh. It was gross out, but it was surprisingly it was Nickelodeon. I was like, I seen it one night. I said, this is like Nick at Night. This is like Nickelodeon. This is like, and I will never forget one time I was watching Mr. Meaty, and the next thing I know, I hear the Cosby Show after it, and I'm like, those are two very different. Yeah, that's like a big change shift. Like that's a family sitcom, and the other one's like gross out humor.
Right, I think that was the Nickelodeon last show before Nick at Night came on.
Yeah, probably more. Most of the time, I think you're right. Are you getting any more tattoos? And what's your stance on, or what do you think about tattoos? Like, what's your view?
Well, I'm thinking about getting some more tattoos. I just don't know what of yet.
Right.
So
yeah,
about that. And with tattoos, if you like them, get them.
Yeah.
If someone say something, oh well.
I think that's how I look at it. You should, but I do think you should think about what you're going to get before you get it. Like I didn't think I was going to get this. I was actually getting something else first. And then based on how much that I was getting into the lore and everything, reading the comments and everything, I wanted that one first. So just make sure it's what you want before, because it is with you forever unless you get it lasered off. I mean, it's going to be with you. So you just got to make sure it's what you want, what you been, dreaming to get, or makes you feel more like yourself, then you should probably get it. And I think, it's all based on what you believe too. With me, I wouldn't get certain ones, but then somebody else might, and that's what works for them. So you just got to be true to yourself. That's how I look at it. Be you, and don't let nobody tell you, that you're wrong. But then be open to listen to other people's opinion and just respect it. If they don't like it, they don't agree with it, that's okay. I mean, you be yourself. Everybody. I think everybody should be free to be who they want to be, whether you agree with somebody or you don't. Everybody has the right to their opinion, so we can all get along and kind of coexist in a way, that moves the world forward instead of tearing each other down. Right. Who's your favorite YouTuber that you've been watching lately, if you've been watching any?
Well, it's a dude named I Show Speed. Probably one of the funniest dudes I ran across. He always barks at folks and
oh man.
Man, he's a joy to watch.
Yeah. Go ahead. I didn't interrupt you. Go ahead.
Yeah, and he do like a lot of game content, and he gotten big now, so he don't really do YouTube that much. He do Twitch and all that stuff now.
A lot of people are getting into Twitch more,
right?
And other platforms more than YouTube now.
Oh yeah.
I noticed that doing YouTube myself. A lot of people are like, you should do Twitch because it's more, you'll probably get more views, or like you play, go live or something, like playing a game or something. You're more likely to get more views that way. What people have been telling me. So I don't know who my favorite would be. I've been watching like hardcore pawn, like the pawn shop.
Mm-hmm.
Just like snippets and clips of people losing their minds with Les and them, and Ashley and Seth, and that people are crazy. And it's funny to me to watch, but one that I used to watch, it kind of, when you said that guy, the YouTuber you're talking about, it kind of reminded me a little bit of that. If you've ever seen Internet City, I don't know if you've ever seen. Oh my gosh,
I gotta look into that.
Oh man, it reminded me a little bit of it. They don't necessarily do like that, like barking. That does sound funny though, people, but they do a lot of like reaction stuff, and they did a couple, and oh my gosh, I died laughing. And they reacted. I don't know if you remember the Flash Gets. Mm-hmm. Flash Gets does like You remember? It's a really it's like a play on words, but it's called Racist Mario.
Oh,
And you remember that video?
Yeah.
And then they were all and Mario's just going crazy, destroying all the racers. That's why it's called that. It's not really a racist video. It's more it's a play on words. But there's a specific scene, and what's his Aaron from Internet City? It's Aaron and Mikey or Michael. He literally had to calm him down because he laughed so hard at this one part. If you've seen it, you probably know which part I'm talking about. And it was just, I was like, oh, it wasn't even what they said or what it was. Aaron laughing so hard that he was crying and like about to drool. I was laughing at his laugh more than anything when I seen it, and it was they're just funny. I mean, they did one video where Aaron lost a bet and he had to walk around the neighborhood in his underwear. Oh man. And then other people would take that and make another thing out of it. Oh my gosh. There's one where this girl was putting her own lipstick in a trailer. And you know, Aaron's, I'm not body shaming, but he's a little, she said. And they made it where it was like she was shaking and he was messing her makeup up. His mom was watching it. She was about to die. Yeah, man. I don't know if they're still doing YouTube, but they were hilarious. And just, I've been watching Metal Jesus Rocks. That's, I was trying to throw a different one out there.
Right.
But, he does a lot of gaming, game reviews or talking about different games or updates. He even did some gamer videos. He's pretty cool. Metal Jesus Rocks. So if he sees this, rock on Metal Jesus. Pretty cool dude. So what would be your favorite video game?
Ooh.
That's a hard one.
There's so many, man. Oh man. Well, I gotta say Smash Bros.
Smash Bros.
Because I played it on every game or Nintendo system it came out on.
Right.
Yeah. I just love that game because you get to pick different characters, and especially the first one, because I was big in Pokemon back then, and when I first played it, you could get Pikachu. Man, I love it.
Man, I wasn't even supposed to have Pokemon or Digimon or nothing like that back then when I was a kid. But Pikachu was pretty cool on Smash Bros. When he did it, that like up B, you remember like where you can get out of like if you're falling.
Mm-hmm.
I used to lose control of it and go the wrong way, and then and then you had you lose a point. They get a point when you're like brawling that out. I don't know what my favorite would be. I know what one of my favorites is right now, but of all time, I would have to say, golly, I don't know. I think it's a tie between, and they're old games, so a lot of people are gonna be like, man, those are really old. But Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time and 007 GoldenEye. Those are the two.
Classics.
Those are the two I grew up playing and played them with my brother. So those are the ones I have memories of. It doesn't matter to me what the graphics really look like as long as the game and the storyline and everything is really good. And I actually did a review of I want to mention one more of the game. And that's Oddworld Stranger's Wrath. I played it. I was thinking, man, this game is going to be, I don't know about this. Never played an Oddworld game before. And she's Jess, talking about my wife Jessica, she actually ended up having to tell me one night to go to bed because I was off the next day from work, but I had actually played the game until the next day. I had played it so long that it was like 7 o'clock in the morning and I haven't been to sleep yet. And I had got up that morning at 8 o'clock the previous day. And I stayed up. So it's a fun game. I enjoyed it. And the story was weird, very different. And the way that they did the graphics was it was kind of like, a little bit like Treasure Planet. I don't know if anybody's ever, but really good movie too. But that's kind of what vibe it gives you. Treasure Planet meets the Wild West kind of look to it, so it's pretty neat. But yeah, favorite hobby or hobbies, if you have any.
Nah, not since I gotten older and working.
Yeah.
Well, playing video games.
Yeah.
One of my favorites to do. I love playing a good story game.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like anything with Rockstar.
Yeah. Like GTA.
Yeah, I'm replaying Red Dead 2 because how good that game was.
I started playing that and I never finished it. I never finished Red Dead 2.
Right.
Red Dead Redemption 2. I beat Red Dead Revolver,
Mm-hmm.
which was like the first one. Got it on original Xbox. This is a good game. But the other one just has so much more open world like GTA, but Wild West is crazy.
Right. Well, Red Dead 2, man. If your clothes dirty, if you don't clean yourself up, you can lose health like that. And
I did not know that. That shows you how much of it I played. I hadn't.
Right.
I know if you can get bit by like a snake and you can die from it too. Like that's
right.
It's really like realistic. I don't know what video games, I guess, and I've gotten a ton of stuff for D&D, and I have not got to play it yet. I've been wanting to set it up where I could play it, or me and her play it and test it out and see how everything goes, and then have some friends over and play it together. But maybe more than anything other than video games, probably Magic. Playing Magic a little bit, and collecting Yu-Gi-Oh cards still, and Magic cards. I like to collect stuff. So maybe that's collecting, I guess.
Right.
I know me and Tevin both know Nick. He used to love. I don't know if he still does, but he used to love to put the Gundam model kits together. That's what he liked to do, and he would bring them over here, and me and him just sit and talk, and he would be putting one together, and by the end of it, he was done with it, or almost done with it, and he just had a toolbox full of just stuff. His wire cutter, or whatever. Not wire cutter, but like the little thing where you snip the plastic away from him.
Mm-hmm.
He had that. He had glue. He had all kind of stuff in there. Paint. So, yep. But yeah. What would be your favorite type of animal? It can be anything. It can be a reptile. It could be a mammal. It can be fish.
Well, I gotta say dog.
Yeah.
Cause I had a dog since I was a baby.
Right.
I just love dogs, and another animal is probably a lion.
A lion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I like dogs and cats, but I think I like dogs a little more than cats because I grew up with dogs. The cats we have were like, they just come up in the driveway. So we just kept them. But
right.
We didn't really go out of our way to get a specific cat or a specific breed of dog. We just kind of, and actually the last dog that my parents had, other than my cousin's dog they got now, other than Tesla, Josie was like a stray, but she was like abandoned. They had just up and left, and my grandma seen her, and she ended up having parvo and everything, but they got her back right, and she lived a long time, like I think it was 10 years. So, and she ended up getting separation anxiety and diabetes. That's why she didn't really live much longer after that. But and it was just a lot. I mean, she had to have I think it was like dog insulin or regular insulin, I guess, and it was a lot. So she would have had to have a lot. She had to have a lot of care, and it was sad to see her go down. But I think I would want a pit bull.
Pit bull.
I think that's what I'm gonna look forward to getting when and if I move. That's what I want to do. And I think favorite like an exotic animal. just like lizards. I think lizards are cool.
Oh yeah.
I got 3 little leopard geckos, and I want to get some different kind, like bearded dragon or stuff like that. I don't know if I like snakes enough to have one, but I feel like I don't know. I don't think they're that aggressive. I mean, it's not that they're aggressive. It's just the fear that, like, even if they don't have venom, they probably still have fangs. It's probably still gonna hurt.
Yeah,
So, or they have little teeth. If
right.
they don't have fangs, they got them little teeth.
Oh yeah.
And their bite force is more than a little leopard gecko. They ain't got much bite force. They gotta have enough just to bite insects and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta figure snakes can take down rodents. So they gotta have more bite force, you know. And lizards can actually eat pinkies, but I'm talking like a whole mouse. Like snakes can unhinge their jaw and eat a whole mouse, or like, and then just digest it over a couple hours. So that's kind of one of my fears with it. I think they're cool.
Oh yeah.
I like to hold them. When I go to the zoo, I like to hold the big giant ones. There's somebody right there with you that knows what they're doing. I think people that get them and they don't do their research and know what they're doing, they're just asking to get hurt. And even some of them people, a friend of mine, that he's known me for a long time. We used to go to church together. Him and his wife and his kids. And Mr. Mark, he said he's even gotten. He works out where I work too. He actually had gotten bit before, and it was a simple mistake feeding it and forgot to wash your hands before you go to pick it back up, and it thinks that you're food. So I mean, it can happen to anybody. It's not. He's very experienced. He's got a couple of them. He told me he's been bit a couple times by accident, so it can happen. That's my only thing with snakes. But the leopard geckos actually helped me get over my fear of reptiles, amphibians, stuff like that. I used to hate them. I didn't like them. I didn't want them nowhere near me.
Right.
And the only time I'd ever touch them is like on a school trip. But now I take my lizards out, play with them, hold them.
See, I ain't never liked the holding lizard. My brother was the lizard man, so every time there's one in the house, he always had to get it, because I ain't like touching them, because I got bitten by one before. It ain't hurt enough, it just shocked me.
Them little anoles, I don't like them little things that much.
Yeah.
They're cool to look at, but they got the red thing that comes out of their throat when they get stressed. Yeah, see, they're more apt to bite because they're little. But like leopard geckos, they hardly ever bite unless you're feeding them and you want to. And why you would ever want to pick them up while you're feeding them, I don't know. I give them an hour or two before I try to pick them back up.
Right.
You know, let them rest, get out of that predatory. I gotta hunt my food type of mode. Or I gotta work for my food. You know, while you're feeding them. So like live stuff. So, have you been to an arcade or in an arcade in the past or recently, or where or when?
Yes, actually when I was on the cruise, they had a nice, good arcade. I was playing like games I ain't never played before, like the Jurassic Park shooting game. I ain't know Jurassic Park had a shooting game.
Yeah. You remember which one it was? Was it like old school, or was it newer, or?
Yeah, it seemed like it was old school because they was in that Jeep.
It wasn't no Lost World, was it? Cause that's the one I grew up with. I grew up with the Lost World one, and it was a lot of fun. It might have been there like was it older graphics?
Yeah.
That's the original. Yeah, it's like a little, like you sit down in it and it's got a cover over the top. Yeah, that's the old school one. That's cool. Yeah, they did a bunch of different. They did the first one. I think they did an arcade machine for the second and the third, or they did Lost World in between or something like. There's like, and then there's a new one. New one's okay.
Right.
I don't know if you played that one. You get different upgrades and stuff, and like you can freeze them and they like disintegrate, and you get grenades. But then they got you fighting spiders, and then I feel like I'm in Kong Skull Island, but I don't know. It didn't feel very Jurassic Park like the original Jurassic, the one I grew up with.
Right.
I grew up watching Lost World more than anything.
Oh yeah, that was my first one too.
That one, and my cousin had the first one. The second and third one were what was Lost World the second one?
Talking about in the movie franchise?
In the order, I can't remember now.
No, I think that was the third one.
Is it? Because I know they made I thought they made a Jurassic Part 3, but maybe that is. I can't remember. Now I don't remember. Or if that was the fourth one, I don't remember. Now I don't remember.
It's been so long since I watched Jurassic Park.
I haven't been to one. Golly, it's been a long time since I've been in the arcade. I would have to say maybe the last time I went to Jacksonville, and they had a game store on one side and an arcade on the other, and it was pretty cool. It had all kind of House of the Dead. He had the old school where it goes around and you hit the button and it was all different colors, the little light bulb things, and you get tickets. He had all kind of stuff, pinball. He had tons of, just a whole wall of pinball machines. Indiana Jones, Star Wars. I think he had a Friday the 13th one, or Michael Myers, or Halloween one, or something. He had a bunch of them though. Really neat. Ghostbusters one. So that's pretty neat. I think that's the last time I've been in one. If it's not, probably the Mill in Valdosta. They have a little arcade, and they have House of the Dead 1. And that's another place I've been recently a couple months ago. It was pretty cool. It's a little arcade, but it does the job. It was fun.
Right.
I think this will sadly the last question. Where would you live if you didn't live where you currently live, or where you live currently?
Yeah. Out of the USA.
Out of the US. Canada?
Yeah. Yes.
Canada? Okay.
Live in Canada or Dubai.
Dubai. Hey.
Because America, man, compared to other countries, man, we a joke.
Yeah. We've turned, I don't know what's happened.
Right.
We've turned very just, I don't know. I don't even know how to put it. I feel like people have gotten so used to being I don't even know how to describe it. Basically, people have gotten so soft with everything and get offended at stuff. And like, I understand, like I said before about something else, if you have a different view of something, but then it turns into, well, I don't agree with that person that doesn't agree with me, so I'm going to shove my opinion down their throat. And that's where you have a problem, because anger with anger, like two wrongs don't make a right. So just because somebody, that's how I was raised. If somebody does something wrong to you and you don't agree with it, sometimes the best thing to do is walk away, not to continue to argue and fuss and fight about it, because everybody has a right to their opinion. But I don't understand why so much violence, so much hate for one another. If we didn't have that, I feel like we'd go back to our original roots of being one nation, united together, instead of being so divided against one another. And we've taken a lot of things away from America that made America great, and we've added some things that I think make it more diverse. But then you've got different extremist groups that take that to the extreme and can't stop until they have everything, and that makes it worse. And then it's all about who you have. I'm not going to get into like Republican, Democrat, or liberal, but it's all about who you have in office, and it's all about how they choose to run your country. So that's what determines everything. Even gas prices. Even gas. I think I would live in Japan maybe, though.
Oh, yeah.
Japan or Canada, probably. Canada, maybe Oregon, because Oregon's very pretty. I've lived in Oregon for 16 months, and it was very, very, very nice up there. Where we live was actually just a wasteland, desert looking, tumbleweeds going across everywhere. But it was nice. I like living there, and I like, I made friends up there. Then we moved back here, and I had to see if my friends were even still around because you never know who moves in that time frame. All of them were still here.
Right.
That's another thing would say. A lot of people move from where we live and move to different places and move on. I just talked to one of my other friends the other night, and he's actually going from one restaurant in Atlanta that's like very successful, and they're opening another restaurant, and he's going to actually be going there when it opens. And I've been really wanting to go there. It's called a Gun Show in Atlanta, and I actually work with his uncle where I work at, and I think it's his uncle or his cousin. I can't remember. Anyway, they're related, and he's like he's a shift. Well, not a shift manager. He's a team lead. I mean, and so I talked to him quite a bit, and he said, "Man, you really need to go to Gun Show. It's awesome. Like it's a lot of fun." And they actually have him and his wife got custom T-shirts. I thought they were really cool. It's the like I think it was it the Nirvana? I think it was a Nirvana face, but then it like had a beard, which was really neat. Or no, it wasn't Nirvana. I was wrong. It was the Misfit skull. But he had a full beard.
That's awesome.
That's pretty neat. But yeah, it's like a revolving, like they bring food out and you pick what you want and you sit at a communal table with everybody. So that's pretty neat. He said it was worth the money and worth the trip. They're glad they went. So I'll have to go, and I'll get to see my friend and taste some of his food. Because he's like, it's not just food there, it's like art. I mean, my friend Lane is very, very talented, and I'm proud of him for pursuing his dream. So, want to add anything else to it? Anything you could add?
I might try that restaurant.
Yeah.
It says in Atlanta?
Yeah, Gun Show.
Okay.
It's,
send them up there. I might.
My friend Jason said it's a little on the spendier side, especially if you get like mixed drinks or anything like that, if you're into that. But like it comes around as like a course, and each chef will come around and this is my special or whatever, however they do it. This is what I made, and then they'll have like a couple, I guess like they'll make them as they're come in, but they'll bring it out and show you like what they have on the menu for that night. They make their own menus.
Okay. Yeah.
So, pretty neat. So I'm gonna have to go one day, or maybe we can go together one day.
Right. Atlanta ain't really that far from us, so
it's about 5 hours?
Yeah.
Something like that.
4 hours.
Yeah.
Depending on how you drive.
Yeah. I don't know. I gotta figure out my car situation too.
Right.
My car giving me a fit. So, anything else you want to? No, that's it. All right, everybody. Well, it's been great having you, Tevin.
Pleasure to be on here, man.
I'm glad that I have friends that support my YouTube channel and support, just doing something I've always wanted to do, doing YouTube. And I plan to get better video quality and video, like I'll do some more editing to them and do like live and stuff like that as soon as I can get a new laptop because mine broke. So I guess we'll end it off here, and everybody be safe and peace.